We've got a really interesting and sensitive question from our buddy Beyond Spectrum. He's 26 years old. He's been dating a woman that's 34 years old, right? The problem is that she was raped several years ago. This is before they started their relationship. And ever since they've been together, he loves her with all of his heart. I mean, the depth of conviction for his love that I received through reading this message is significant. He really loves this woman. But for 2 years that they've been together, they've never had sex. They've never had intercourse because of the trauma associated with the pain of her experience of getting raped several years ago. So we're in a situation now where she is so physically tense and rigid that even approaching the physical area of sex or the topic of sex brings up tears that she immediately stuffs back down or leaves the room in order to clear about. Our friend Beyond Spectrum is not only at a loss because he wants to obviously commence forth with the act of making love to this woman, but because of his care for her, he wants to see her heal. And he knows that the situation is dysfunctional and it'll only grow more dysfunctional if it is not dealt with. She wants help. He wants to help her. What do you do? So I'm not going to approach this I'm going to approach this as I'm going to point you in a direction, right? Because this is really sensitive. This is stuff that therapists would work with you on. And I'm going to point you in some really good directions for the type of therapy that I think would be very resourceful to you. I often talk about bioenergetics and basically how the body takes on the physical manifestations of the psychological character, be it trauma or chronic behavior patterns in the body. You'll notice, and you may or may not notice this, but if you look at her inner thighs, if you look at her hips, if you look at the vagina area, she's probably very clenched, she's probably very tight, she probably retracts her hips, she probably closes her knees down. This is all a response to being invaded as a human being. You know, the thing is with women is that they open themselves up and the world comes in. Now this is a situation where someone ripped her open and went inside. Now she literally has to protect herself, right? And this is something that for men it's difficult for us to understand because we don't open ourselves up, we go in. She has to soften in order to allow in, but she was taken advantage of physically, emotionally, morally, and it's hurting her. Peter Levine, I'm going to invite you to read some books and move in this direction because there are therapists that you might be able to find that are bioenergetic in sort. Bioenergetics is one branch of body psychology and body psychology therapy. Somatic therapy is what they would call it. I tend to have taken a liking to just that branch, bioenergetics, because I happen to be living in the same vicinity as one of the best bioenergetic therapists in the world. But it's just one branch of what they would call Neo-Reichian therapy or somatic therapy. Peter Levine is one of the best in the world at dealing with trauma release, specifically trauma release, things that have happened to you and how they get trapped in your body. And there are exercises associated with releasing the trauma. But it needs to be coupled with psychotherapy, psychoanalysis also. She needs to talk to someone, also someone that is not just a talker. You could talk, but it still remains very abstract. What she needs is physical healing. This is what we all need, right? And that's why I'm I'm always talking about using the body to express the emotions, getting it out of your body, whatever the case may be, because we are physically holding ourselves through neurotic holding patterns in the prisons that our mind is creating for us. A couple books, I just pulled up Amazon to like get the names of some of the books. I don't know if you can see it here, but Peter Levine is the author of In an Unspoken Voice, which is a book that I would invite you to pick up. It would give you a foundation for what this is all about. You know, some of the science behind mind-body healing. You know, it's all one thing. And you've got some brilliant guys like Peter Levine and a lot of the books I've read by Alexander Lowen and Wilhelm Reich, obviously, who is the founder of these ideas in the West. And also Healing Trauma, a pioneering program for restoring the wisdom of your body. Both of those are good books to start with, but again, it's ideas, ideas and books, you know, reading. are still very abstract. That's why a lot of people read a lot of shit, but they're not that smart. You know, it's like, wow, boy, you read a lot of stuff, but why are you still so dumb? Because reading doesn't really educate. Experience educates. Experience affords wisdom. So all I'm doing here is pushing you in a particular direction. You're going to have to get her to participate in some physical healing, either with a practitioner, you know, look in this direction, a practitioner, or together, the two of you. I don't know what type of relationship you have with regard to that. It may be difficult for you, but she needs to yield into someone, specifically with regard to releasing the tears that she keeps holding back. She needs to sob. She needs to let it all out. She needs to express the anger associated with the violence that she experienced. I mean, she needs to throw a temper tantrum. She needs to hit beds with the tennis racket. She needs to do all the things physically associated with getting that shit out of her. She literally needs to exorcise the demon. Where do you think that term comes from? It's very fascinating that that's a term. You exercise. You literally get out of your body that neurotic holding pattern. This is another form of a neurotic holding pattern that she's experiencing. It's stifling her physically because she can't open up, right? Her legs, she cannot open up. You can't blame her. And she's sucking it in every time she wipes those tears away. She's got to not necessarily re-experience it mentally, because that's still very abstract. She needs to go through therapy that will let her express all the anger, the sadness, the anguish, the depression associated with the horrible experience that she went through. Dude, I believe you when you say you love her with all of your heart. You've been with her for 2 years, and you have endured the pain with her. And I know that you want to have sex with her, and that's what it's all about here. You know, you want to be able to merge with this woman, but the only way that you'll be able to merge with her is if she softens to someone, and she's lucky that she has you, because she's going to eventually soften with you. And you're someone who she can come to trust. I'm saying she can come to trust you, right? A part of her still, she can't because everything associated with sex is tainted with disgust and distrust. You see? So that's it, my friend. I'm pushing you in the right direction. There's no question about it. I can't give you the exact steps as to what to do. Obviously, I don't know you, and I'm not a therapist. But you can move in this particular direction, and it will be very resourceful to both of you. I wish you the best, my friend. I know things will work out. Just stay consistent and keep loving her. Peace.